Hello there, YouTube and TikTok. If there's one thing about the social media algorithm that I've learned over the past week or so, it's that controversy and politics seems to be the only thing that gets any real traction anymore. The video of mine, at least, that seems to get consistent views on YouTube is the extremist political views of BookTube video that I made, or something along those lines, extreme political leaning, something like that. It's an old video anyway. Since making that video, BookTube hasn't changed. If anything, it's got worse. The politics of BookTube, the politics of YouTube, the politics of the internet is all extremism. And it's something that has always bothered me. And I realised that the thing that people most want to talk about at the moment is politics for a reason. They want to get to the meat, they want to get to the real important topics that are out there. We can talk about books and video games, things like that, until the cows come home, and I'm still going to. But people need to drill down into these topics because society has decided that we're not decided on these things anymore. There are certain things that I still don't quite understand. Like, I don't get why there's so many pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas protests happening in Western cities. I don't understand why there are still big religious divides. Like, this is something that I felt was being demolished back in the 2010s when creationists, like young Earth creationists and other fools, were making videos on YouTube back in the day. Big political issues like the whole socialism, capitalism, kind of nonsense that crops up seems to always rear its ugly head and seems to be the thing that people always want to talk about. And there's always the arguments that people put forward to prove that they don't know anything of what they're talking about. The arguments that shows that people don't actually know the difference between socialism and communism. They don't understand what Marxism is. They don't understand that Marxism as a field of study can now be attributed to other things. It's not just the phrase that is so regularly attributed to Marx. We all know the phrase. The means of production should be owned by the workers. That phrase. That is not Marxism. That's a phrase. That's one quote. That is not Marxism. Marxism is a whole series of thoughts and concepts, all distilled down into a set philosophical worldview, and it can be applied to other things outside of economics and outside of industry, which is why cultural Marxism exists. And that is another branch of communism, which can be thought of in other ways. There are different forms of communism. So, yeah, all of this is way more complicated than people like to make it out, and most of it's just bullshit. Most of it is nonsense that has not been well thought out. But these then get conflated, and then there's discussions about capitalism and corporate roles and corporate greed and things like that, and then people take all forms of capitalism to basically be the extremes of neo-corporate America, which it's definitely not. But yeah, there's so many people pushing political extremism out there, and it really does make me think. Political extremism seems to be the only real growth industry now. And I could do that. I know enough about politics, so I could definitely do that. I know enough about religion that I could start creating controversial religious content as well. I'm one of those arsehole atheists that's actually read the Bible and the Quran. Yeah, I know. I'm probably one of the only people who's actually read both on the entire planet. There's loads of people who claim they have. Most of them are liars. Most people who claim they've read the Bible and the Quran are liars, including the people who claim to believe that it's the holy word of their God. Most people don't care enough to actually read a book like that, especially something so dry and so judgmental as a holy book. They'll still use it for an excuse to, kill people, throw them off buildings, hang them, slit their throats, all that crap, because, people love violence and they love being arseholes to each other. So, what does this, how does this affect me, honestly? Well, it doesn't. I mean, this is supposed to be my vlog for the 5th of December 2023. It's supposed to be my reflection on yesterday. Problem was, I didn't really do anything yesterday. Yesterday, I was hoping to get writing done. I was hoping to get to read a book, spend some time on myself. I watched a little bit of YouTube, and then I got hit by my chronic fatigue. So that kind of screwed the day for me. So I'm sitting here now, morning of the 6th, sun beaming in, and reflected on the day. I've got very little to say about the day itself. I did do a little bit of writing on my tabletop RPG system, though, which I'm going to make a proper video about for my tabletop YouTube channel. That'll be interesting. Look forward to that. But yeah, what I did find is that there are YouTube and TikTok videos out there that talk about the way the algorithm is working and what it is that people want to talk about. And I keep seeing the views on my YouTube channel ticking up. I get a constant drib-drab of views all the time, and it's always the same couple of videos. And that extremist political opinions and booktube video is always top of the list. It is always my #1 video of the day. It gets a good 30 to 40 views every day without fail, unless I upload a video on that day that does more than 50 views in a single day. That video will be the #1 video for the day. Now, I know we're talking about dozens of views. I'm hardly a big-time YouTuber. But it's getting to the point now where it's at almost 5,000 views, and it's still steadily climbing. It is constantly relevant even now. And it's because it's true. The political landscape is a problem. There aren't conservative voices in BookTube. I don't know really if there's conservative voices in BookTalk. So why is that? Why can't we have proper discussions anymore? Why does everyone have to race to the extremes? Why can't we be reasonable people anymore? I think, ultimately, what's happened is that the internet, social media, the very thing I'm using to talk to you right now, has created this problem where we've landed ourselves in these echo chambers of hate and anger. They're not echo chambers the way we expect them to be. They're not just reflecting our opinions back at us. They're reflecting our opinions back at us, but also the extremes of the opposite. So everything is the extreme. You don't just get conservative and liberal. You don't just get left-wing, right-wing. You don't just get libertarian, authoritarian. That isn't the way it works anymore. What you get now is you get extreme progressive woke bullshit where people believe in 53 genders and that straight white men are evil and that black people deserve reparations that make them all millionaires and that Black Lives Matter should be allowed to burn down your business for looking at you wrong. And on the opposite side, you have gun-toting, First and Second Amendment extremists marching down saying Trump is the Almighty, who's the returned image of Christ. And when it comes down to it, the extremist woke on one side, they are seeing the extremes of the right on the other. They're seeing racist posts from KKK sympathizers and neo-Nazis. They're seeing anti-gay posts. They're seeing all of these hateful posts in the same way that the right wing are seeing all these woke morons who deny gender and pretend that science doesn't exist and try grooming children. The vast majority of people can't possibly be at these extremes. I think social media is just feeding off anger. It's just making us all so incredibly fucking angry. And, ironically, that makes me kind of angry. I'm not sure what to do about that. But it was on my mind today. I thought it was more interesting than telling you about how my chronic fatigue made me sleep for much of the day, or made me feel dizzy and made me feel like I couldn't really do much, and how my pain levels were really too high for me to get any proper writing or reading done. I thought this discussion was more interesting, so this is what you got for my daily vlog for the 5th. Hopefully I'll be able to talk to you again tonight and do a vlog for the 6th that'll actually have some content to it. Till then, thanks for listening. See you later. Bye.